And now we're back live. Add products to the live video so viewers can browse while they watch. No. What's missing? I'm just going to press random buttons on this. Am I even live? A live goal. Oh, I don't want to. What are the other things? There we go. Accept.
Yep. All right, guys.
Okay.
Tell me that's still working.
Hopefully this works.
Yeah, I was like, no, please, I have people here.
I was only up to 5 people. It's okay, and I think
Okay,
they're
cool.
coming back.
I
Hi,
have more
people
people
coming.
now than I did before, so okay, it's
Oh,
working.
that's good.
Awesome.
That's good. Excellent.
Okay, so what I wanted to ask was, with both BPD and MPD, what traits do you feel like are intensified?
Oh, good one. Let me bring up the list of traits.
For a second, I thought you meant that you had a list that like you wrote out that like you said were intensified.
They sometimes some of them crop up. Right. So the things that get intensified, like I say, falling out with people is really bad
God, yeah.
because you get the paranoia of the BPD. No, sorry, you get the paranoia of the MPD, and then the BPD sort of backs it up with yeah, you're not. Why would they want to be your friend? Whatever. And your narcissism will be convinced that they've done something to you or whatever, and then you can run with that. You know, I've come up with some incredible conspiracy theories against me over the years.
Dude, like, oh man, like I literally, so I looked up the, wait, okay, I want to see if you relate to these. I looked up the traits of paranoid personality disorder, and I sent them to somebody said that they reminded them of me, and I looked them up and sent them to people, and they were like, oh yeah, that's you in a nutshell, and I was like, oh fuck. But the funny thing is that that's part of malignant narcissism. So I think I'm just going to start calling myself a malignant narcissist.
Oh yeah, really? I've never seen you as anything like dark enough to be on that malignant narcissist side of things.
You want to hear some things I did before I was self aware, because you might change your mind.
Yeah,
Um,
well, fair enough.
like
Fair enough.
so one of the things that I did is I felt like somebody was insulting me, and so we were at a bonfire and I had a metal stick in the fire and it was like red hot, and I took the stick out and tried to fucking brand him with it because he was doing that. Yeah. Um, Once this guy, I thought he betrayed me, and
Yeah.
he was in my kitchen and I pinned him up against the wall with my arm, like screaming at him and shit like that. I was fucking unhinged when I was younger.
I always saw the malignant side as much more sort of cold and calculating. That I always associate it more with sort of that's where your gaslighting is, and yeah.
So yes, so basically, when you were okay, so it's complicated. When I was so basically sociopathy, right? That's what ASPD is for the most part.
Yeah,
A lot of my sister is a sociopath and has borderline personality disorder,
right.
which is a mess of a person. But she, like, like seeing sociopathy in action is like they're super neurotic, they're chronically bored, they're always like sensation seeking, they're like drugs, alcohol, like tobacco, and they're also very neurotic, right? They're not
Right.
calculated, they're just impulsive. So the combination, so malignant narcissism is going to look more like that,
Hmm.
but also with the huge ego thing. Nowadays, though, it would be hard to call myself a malignant narcissist for obvious reasons. But I could see that being a label I could catch when I was younger.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, the rage thing, the anger thing. I'm trying to think if I've ever done anything. I must have done. I feel like I have.
Oh, here's another big one. Like I usually I don't share these things, but just because it's relevant right now. I once was a, oh fuck, when I was like 15. I got into an argument with my mom about something, and I was getting kicked out basically,
Hmm.
and I wanted to take my computer with me, and she told me no, in a way that made me like she laughed at me, and like I go over to the kitchen counter, take a knife, and like mutilate myself, tell her that it was her fault, and I push her to the ground, and that's what got me into therapy for the first time.
Right, yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
I'm still
fucking nuts.
I'm still trying to think, right, because there was never any physicality to my rage, really. More so perhaps in sort of my late teens when I was rowing with my dad. There was an
Yeah,
incident of hurling a paving slab the length of the garden, but that was sort of a one-off. The worst thing I always tried to sort of exert power over people. So
yeah.
there was an incident back in the podcasting. There were many incidents back in the podcasting days, but one of them really always stood out to me. There was a show that was done with my girlfriend at the time, my ex, and a colleague of hers from work about their work. It was and they were drug workers. It was about sort of a serious talk about drugs on a podcast week
Mm.
to week. And I cannot for the life of me remember what this guy did to me.
See,
As I,
that's the thing, isn't it? Like, I literally can't remember what,
yeah,
like, the story I just told. I have no fucking clue what they fucking did. I just remember my reaction.
yeah, I don't remember what he did, but he did something that was enough for me to say, right, just first of all, I need to never hear your voice again or see you or be within arm's reach of you because if I'm close enough to get hold of you, I don't know what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
please stay away. And then I not only stopped the show he was doing, I took it off the website. I deleted every episode of it. I deleted the backups of every episode of it. I
Sorry,
deleted
one
all.
second. Desmond Hartz just gave me some money. I just want to thank them really quick.
Right.
Anyways, go on.
And I took the show off iTunes. I destroyed everything that had ever been created to do with this show and this guy in a way.
You fucking
Just
memory hold him.
yeah, just to say fuck you. I will
Yeah.
wipe you out of fucking existence. I will take everything you did and just fucking burn it. And I will do. You are worthless to me. You aren't shit. Do you think I need you to do this? I will destroy everything you've made.
Did you ever secretly
And
want them to, like, apologize and come back?
I wanted to be feared. Yeah,
Same. Yeah,
I wanted to be fit, right? Because my idol at the time was Steve Jobs. That was what I was basing my work personality on. And so the idea of being that guy that everyone thinks is actually a genius, but you're
yeah.
terrified of being in the room with him. That was what I wanted. And you don't actually get that unless you're Steve Jobs. So I just pissed off a lot of people.
My idol was Napoleon. Um,
That's a good one.
and any like fucking like autocratic ruler during the time, I was like, yeah, that guy. That's what I
Right.
want.
That's a good one. Napoleon. That's a good one. Yeah, but no, I was just trying to be Steve Jobs. And you realize that doesn't quite happen unless you've made lots of people millionaires and you've invented home computing and that kind of thing. You don't get it for just making podcasts.
Yeah.
But then my plan was, I was going to be the next Rupert Murdoch. I was going to be the Bond villain that controlled the world's governments through media, and
Right.
that was my plan.
I still feel. I mean, I mentioned this to you before, but I was like, I literally thought I was going to be a dictator when I was younger. Like, I was like, yep, I will rule the United States from the iron fist and probably subjugate the rest of the world.
Yeah,
I was fucking deluded. I was actually voted most likely to rule the world in my freshman class, which is
there you
hilarious.
go. It's
Also,
I
Angel,
swear.
like one from YouTube. Okay, hi, by the way. And if you fell early morning barking there, I'm not sure if you know, but he has both NPD and BPD. But anyways, I have the criteria for paranoid personality disorder, I need to know if you relate to these.
Paranoid personality disorder. Right, go on then.
Suspects without sufficient basis that others are exploiting, harming, or deceiving him or her.
There are times when I might have felt like that.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like they're going to betray me. They're like, they want what I have. The envy portion, of course, but yeah.
Yeah.
Is preoccupied with unjustified doubts about the loyalty or trustworthiness of friends or associates. The loyalty part especially is like, oh my god, it's so much.
Maybe that's just where, right, because all of these personality disorders, I think of them like, you know, states or neighboring countries, and they exist separately, but sometimes they bump up against each other, and maybe those bits are very similar, but they're still different places.
What's interesting about paranoid personality disorder is also, I think you'll relate to this, is that there's not like this, oh no, like the world's hostile and going to hurt me. It's like this vindictiveness. It's like the world's going to hurt me and I'm going to get back at them.
Yeah.
I feel like with paranoid personality disorder, it's usually more, it's not emotional betrayal most of the time. It's more like just harm in general. Like it could be even physical and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if we apply this to emotional, like exactly, this one's funny, is reluctant to confide in others because of unwarranted fear that the information will be used maliciously against him or her.
This is so close, isn't it? It's really.
Maybe you're a malignant narcissist too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Reads hidden, demeaning, or threatening meanings in the benign remarks or events. Yes and no. Like, I would say, because, like, let me put it this way. I know a friend who had paranoid personality disorder traits, and I was messing around with my butterfly knife because I think it's cool. And shit, he thought I was, doing it to prove to him I was, like, the alpha male of the friend group that we were in. That, like, I was showing dominance by messing around with it.
Right.
And that I do not relate to at all. I do not.
Right.
Do I remember my other butterfly knife trait?
That's actually very close to the borderline stuff as well. You know,
paranoid ideation.
Yeah.
There.
God, no wonder these things are so hard to diagnose, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and this is cluster A too. This isn't even cluster
right, B. Yeah.
Persistently bears grudges. I.e. unforgiving of insults, injuries, or slights. Yeah, that one fucking for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Perceives attack on his or her character or reputation that are not apparent to others and is quick to react angrily or to counterattack.
Yeah.
I sent this to one of my friends, and they literally said, oof, I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
And then has recurrent suspicions without justification regarding fidelity of spouses or sexual partners. That one I don't relate to at all.
No, me either.
Yeah. I've never, like, I've always kind of been like, yeah, if you're with me, then, like, fucking, I'm the best you're going to get. Like, why would I even suspect you of cheating?
That's it. And also, you know, I just sort of, I think more the borderline stuff wants to just settle in and be comfortable and not worry about shit like that. And if I can form that sort of secure attachment, I did a lot of reading about attachment theory. That's a lie. That's a lie. I got a book and I read the first chapter. But what I got,
because I imagine you would have what's it called? I imagine you would have disorganized attachment style.
Disorganized, insecure attachment. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. And I did a tiny bit of reading into that because it came up, and I just got as far as, yeah, I'm disorganized. That's definitely it, and it's clear why. The book I got was it was actually God, Can't remember. It had the word poly mixed in with it because it was about attachment theory with regards to poly relationships, and it was a big buzz book for a while. But yeah,
Like
it
related
was.
to polyamory.
Say that again, sorry.
Related to polyamory.
Yeah, let me let me look it up. Was it an Amazon book I got, or no? I can't.
But I did read a very interesting paper once that suggested that people with cluster Bs, that narcissists have disorganized attachment with avoidant, dismissive overtones, and then borderlines have disorganized with what's with the insecure, like obsessive. I don't remember what the fuck it's called, overtones, which I think tracks.
Yeah,
Dr.
it
Ruth
does.
said polysecure.
Yeah, that's the one. I've just found it. Yeah. It was one of the, I read the first chapter two or three times and then just like, I'm not going to get this book. It doesn't matter. It was one of those.
Also, who pays for books? I just look up a PDF. Fuck that.
I like them all nice and neat in my Kindle library whenever I can. And I
Yeah,
also don't read enough, anything like enough.
I used
So
to way more, but now, like, I've read probably every classic you can think of, but like nowadays, I fucking barely read actual books.
no, do you know what? One of the lockdown things that I tried to do was like be in a book club because that's something everybody tried to do for like the first 6 weeks, and then I think we all got immediately bored.
I want a book club. That would actually make me read things, and especially if it's like a chapter at a time or some shit like that.
It doesn't though, because what happened was every week we would get together and everyone would say, "I haven't read the book this week. Has anyone else read the book?" And we'd all go, "No, I haven't read the book." It doesn't make you read the book. It makes you apologize to a room full of people week after week. And I've had enough of that in life.
Oh wait, I had something really important to ask you. Oh no, I lost it. Oh my god, I'm going to die. I was going to say going to kill myself, but I didn't. But I'm telling it anyways. The shit. I had something like that. I was when somebody dislikes you for like 2 seconds, does that fucking haunt you, or you think
Yeah.
that somebody disliked? Yeah, because
So many social interactions haunt me forever.
put yourself in this space because this happened recently. Dr. Ruth, I really hope you're still here. You are here. Awesome. And you can tell Wendy this because I flagged all my videos for copyright because there is this woman that I really do not like who was reposting all my stuff and whatever.
Right.
And Wendy T. Berry, Disarming the Narcissist, I interviewed her and she posted the interview on her channel too and accidentally flagged it and got it removed. And she emailed me basically being like, "Hey, I'm sorry if I offended you. Like, I thought you'd be cool with it, whatever." And I was like, "Oh my God, no, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry." And it was like somebody who's important wrote a book.
Yeah.
And I was humiliated and like obsessed about it for the rest of the night, even though that like I emailed her back being like, "Hey, that was a complete accident. I'm sorry. Let me go fix that real quick."
Oh, that's the sort of thing I would actually lose sleep over. That level of thing.
I had to get
Um,
wasted and sleep. I had to get fucking drunk as piss.
yeah, look, if my mind has time to wander, like I'm doing the dishes or I've gone on a walk, or I'm driving, time when you're alone with your thoughts, I will sit and go through social interactions from 2, 3, 4 years ago, longer. I'll go all the way back to college and like, oh God, I can't believe I said that time.
Also
And
the vindictive ones too. It's like, oh my God, that person wronged me. I wish I could fucking.
oh, there's that
Yeah.
list of like, so if you found out that the bombs were going to drop in 20 minutes, who would I try and kill first?
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Oh yeah, God, yeah.
Like there's 20 minutes left of civilization. No one gives a fuck. Nothing matters anymore. There's 20 minutes left.
Now
You're
I'm
either
thinking
gonna.
like, man, how did I not think about that? Like now when the bombs drop, I'm fucking out there.
It's like, are you gonna spend that last 20 minutes crying with your loved ones, or are you going out there to just get some fucking vengeance? Like
It's finally my time.
it's like the bombs are gonna kill everyone, not you. I'm gonna kill you.
I'm just like imagining standing in front of somebody being like, "Listen, I know this is pointless, but like it's gonna make me feel a lot better."
Yeah, that's it. Because, yeah, no, I had that list of, right, I would go straight out to there, then from that person's house to that, and I could maybe do that in 20 minutes. You know?
How many can I hit? See, it sucks because like I live too far away from all my like enemies. So
That's the
like
problem, yeah. You need
I
some
I
new
need
local enemies. Neighbors are
I,
good to fall out with.
I could get like one or two of them. I could get one or two like because I'm thinking because it take me 15. Okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about this right
No,
now.
I feel we're crossing a line here, actually. I'm sorry. I've taken us to a dark, dark place.
Okay, somebody give us a question so that we can get off of the idea of planning out how to murder our enemies.
You know,
Somebody
you
said they
know,
have a list though. Feel
there are
better.
times in internet broadcasting where you think, if the NSA aren't following me now, they're really not doing their job.
Well, that's the thing is that I accepted like a long time ago that the NSA has been following me for a long time, and that like
Yeah,
nowadays they're like, yeah, Jacob's talking about killing people when the bombs drop, but like he's just full of shit. He's
he's
always saying shit
cool.
like this.
He's cool. Yeah. It's like if he's not done it by now, it's fine.
Oh my god. So let's see what somebody said. Somebody asked orange or apple juice, which I say orange juice hands down.
I'm drinking orange juice right now.
Ah, good. Wow, answer already.
There you
Okay,
go.
here's a good one. What makes you happy or at peace? And
Now that's an interesting question.
I got a good one right here. This one fixes things pretty easy.
Yeah, happiness comes in small baggies. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Um,
people admiring me.
there are actually no. There's lots of things that make me happy. Right? There are people that make me happy. There are hobbies I have, things I do
At
that make me
peace.
happy. At peace.
Yeah, that's the one that like gets me. Also, Kat, I have both NPD and ADHD, so yes, I do know somebody. But yeah,
I
like
at
feeling at peace,
peace.
I don't even understand.
See, that implies some sort of calmness.
Yeah,
And
we're manic or
calmness,
depressed, basically.
yeah, calmness is not really a state. I can, be in a state where I'm not worried or stressed. That can happen, especially, if I'm doing something fun, get out of my head and that kind of thing. There's lots of ways to do that. Um, but calm, at peace, that's an unfamiliar feeling still.
I used to say like somebody's like you should just relax. I'm like that's really stressful.
Yeah, that's when I start thinking things, and that's not what we need to happen.
Yes. I also read a study once that shows that people with NPD have actually higher latent stress hormones in them than somebody with generalized anxiety disorder does.
Right? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Right.
Really doesn't surprise me. I can, I have my list of things in my life that are worrying me, that are bothering me. And when they're all fixed, then I can be calm.
And but like there's always a list is the thing.
Oh, that's the problem with it though, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always a list.
Because
But
that's the thing. I'm always like, oh, when I'm rich, like I will have no worries. No, fucking, we're still gonna have
that's
no worries.
that's it. When I'm not worried about money, when I'm not worried about X, Y, and Z, whatever, then I can, be calm. And I do have this constant feeling of anxiety, of
Yeah.
guilt. If I try to relax, there's guilt. Like, you should be doing something. Why aren't you making another video? Why aren't you planning something else? Why aren't you doing all this other stuff? Yeah, it's been, yeah. And even God, even Kat has observed that about me, that I
Yeah.
don't like. It's difficult to get me to sit down and just chill out.
Do you what was the oh, I had a good question. Do you like hop from hobby to hobby like every fucking week?
I used to do it a lot more than I do now.
Oh, really?
I haven't done it for a while. I'm just thinking.
I get bored of it so quick. Well, like, and I'm like bored in quotes because it's like I'll miss one day of doing it, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, oh, that was a one-off, whatever. And then like 2 weeks pass, I'm like, oh fuck, I have not even touched that. And like rationally, I know I'm interested, but at the same time, it's like, I can't bring myself to do that right now. I just don't want to.
That sort of thing, right? Sorting that stuff out was part of the BPD healing process, right? Because
Yeah.
from certainly from the BPD side, it comes from that lack of self identity. What am I into? What do I like?
Yeah.
What do I enjoy? That kind of thing. And so actually identifying stuff I liked and wanted to do was part of that process of getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So once I did that, I've really stopped jumping around as much. And you sort of latch onto the things that have right. So I jump around a lot, but there are some things that have always been there for years. Like my whole life, I've always liked video games. That's just always been a thing.
Sure.
I've always
What about the
enjoyed.
individual video games though?
Um, they come and go. There are favorites. I rarely go back.
Really?
Games get treated somewhere. They're somewhere in between books and movies for me. Right? Books I can enjoy, but I've never reread a book. Once I've read a book, I've read the
Okay.
book.
Oh
I'm not going to
fuck no.
reread it, you know. But movies I'll watch over and over again,
Really? Because I can't do that.
happily. Yeah, There are some movies I'll just watch again and again forever. That's totally fine. There's some I'd love to know how many times I've seen The Burbs or The Great Escape or Star Wars or you know films like that. But
Hey,
games,
I can
I don't
rewatch
know.
Star Wars, but like, it's fucking Star Wars. So
Yeah, but games, yeah, some I'll go back to occasionally, but yeah, I move from game to game. That actually feels like more of an ADHD thing than
yeah,
anything else.
that's my because like, well, first of all, somebody asked, "Have you read Body Keeps the Score?" Yes, awesome book. I don't know if you read it, Rich, but it's about PTSD. Basically, this Dutch researcher interviewed a bunch of Vietnam vets coming back from Vietnam,
Right. Yeah.
and fuck. But yeah, like I thought it was just an ADHD thing, but well, two things. One, ADHD is comorbid with BPD and NPD like all the time. It's super common. But
Hmm.
I was on the BPD forums and they were like, "Oh yeah, we hyperfixate and then lose interest like super fast too." And it's a sensation seeking, right? It's like you
Yeah.
need that novelty. Um,
You get a new hobby has all kinds of things that excite BPD
yeah,
because you've got some self identity coming in. Like I'm the guy who does this, you know, and everyone knows me. I'm into this. Don't ask me what I want for Christmas. I want something related to this thing that we all know I do because I'm
yeah,
the that thing guy. And then you've got the shopping, right? This new hobby needs things. It needs accessories and organizing and putting in order and keeping in special containers and labeling and all kinds of great fun stuff like that.
gotcha.
There's so much good stuff surrounding getting a new hobby.
Ooh, I have a good question. So I'll do this. I don't know if you do. You ever plan out your identities? Because like I have like this thing where I'll but for me it happens like very rarely. Like I always am wearing black shirts. I used to wear white shirts and leather jackets, and now I've like changed up my style very intentionally. Or for example, I want to bring back not bring back, but like make Surfer Jacob a thing.
Okay.
Right?
What does Surfer Jacob involve?
Okay, so imagine this. Like, I
Okay,
live in
I'm
Ohio, so I'm not
yeah.
near an ocean. But,
Okay.
but I want to start wearing Hawaiian t-shirts and just be like a super chill guy. And like, I
Okay.
don't know, I would like to carry around a surfboard. Maybe that's too much. Shark tooth necklaces and shit like that. But okay, that's a stupid example. But like, I have done that before, where I like have one style, one personality, and then something happens where I just completely change it
Right.
but the thing is, they last for a couple of years,
Okay.
if not like months to a couple of years, I'd say.
I've never planned anything out in advance, but things
Mm,
do happen sort of organically. There is a lot of thought that goes into things from time to time.
yeah.
Even the appearance of no thought going into stuff and that kind of thing. But there is a lot. But I don't know. I struggle to be that well focused and plan anything ahead.
Mm.
That's ultimately my problem.
Do you? Oh, also, is Kat in the chat right now? Because I'd still love to ask.
She's in my chat right
Hey,
now.
Kat, can you come over to my chat so I can ask you some questions? Because I'm very interested.
We can't
I'm
both
sorry that I
see.
harassed your girlfriend about questions
No,
about me.
it's fine. She's used to this now.
Oh, it's funny. I've. Oh my god. Somebody did ask, how does one become a self-aware narcissist? For me, I don't know about for you. When you realize something in your life is fucked up and you need to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear your opinion.
Right, 1 second, Cat. Just go and watch Jacob's live. Stop watching mine and go and watch Jacob's live. Then you'll be in his chat. Uh, sorry, what was the question again?
What was it? How did I forget it? Oh, how to become a self-aware narcissist.
I
Also,
had
Kat's here. Hi.
yeah,
I'm nervous for this question. I'll ask Kat.
I had too many other things wrong to not be thinking that there was something wrong. So that, I mean, asking how does it help having both things, right? I
Yeah.
didn't have that narcissistic feeling of I'm fine, I'm great,
Yeah.
I don't need therapy. No, I wanted to kill myself. So it was like, no, I'm not well. This is right. You can't argue that you're that suicidal and healthy.
Yeah.
So of course there was something wrong, and that got me into therapy. And then the more you talk, the more comes out, and it's like, hey, that's not all sad.
Because
So, you know,
like that's the thing for me is that like I was always semi-suicidal, which was a red flag that I was mentally ill. I had no idea what was up there.
mm,
Um, but at the and like I picked up on subtle things. Like I just kind of realized that people don't interact with people the same way I do. Like
yeah,
everyone else is always like it. I always describe it as like I felt like people were kind of math equations that I knew what to put in to get what I wanted out, even if I didn't understand the equation.
yeah,
But that other people would go in and just put in fucking random numbers. I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Don't you want status and admiration and stuff like that? Um, and fucking, but at the same time, what really made it hit for me was when I lost all my friends because I'm an asshole, and fucking, I didn't have my self esteem juice like rolling in.
yeah,
And so then like I completely fell apart and I was like in this that's actually when I attempted suicide is when like I basically had to face the fact I hated myself
mhm,
and I couldn't deal with it. And that on its own didn't get me into therapy, but that stuck with me. And that's a big
yeah.
thing that made me be like, I do need help at some point.
That's it.
Um,
It, it it sounds weird to say. Hopefully, you have some other things wrong apart from your narcissism, because that seems to be the way that people actually get help. You know, through the back door.
because usually, what's it called? Like, there's usually two times in narcissist lives when they actually get help, which is when they get out of college or high school and they
Mhm.
like aren't living up to their expectations, or like you get out of college and you're like, I'm not getting these grandiose jobs I thought I was going to, or when you're like in your 40s and you're like, fuck, I'm not going to become dictator, and so you go to therapy because you're miserable after that. Um, but those are generally so if you miss those fucking milestones, you're probably fucked.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but okay, I want to ask Kat some questions because I think this is hilarious.
Go.
I'm trying to think of a good one. Um, well, I could just ask you this one. Did you? Because I have a question for her about this. But were you open from the get go that you had MPD and BPD?
Yeah,
Okay, because I was going
yeah.
to ask when she picked up on it. Oh, well, that's actually still a good question. Like, I'll let you go on about that. But like, for her, did she actually? How long did it take for her to actually notice symptoms? I'm super interested about. But yeah, like being open about your diagnoses, I think that's a good topic.
I was always open about it. Um, and especially once Kat and I met, I'd been in therapy for about probably a year and a half at that point as well. So I wasn't exactly uh, at my worst. There was still a lot to do. She's been around for various things happening, but yeah, I was far from being the colossal mess that I was before. So
Yeah.
that was it was just something I just came out with. And plus, I sort of like it, coming out of a relationship where I thought the two personality disorders had just destroyed it all. I
Mm.
was terrified of that happening again. So I tried to just get it out there right away.
Okay, two things. One, Kat replied. I want to say my piece first, but because I have a rule of like basically before I come official with somebody, I have to disclose that because it's like you can't say on the first date. It's like, oh, by the way, I'm a narcissist. Hope that's not an issue, but I feel like they deserve to know that before they make a commitment, so they can make it like a fully informed decision.
Yeah.
For She said that he had a BPD episode right before he started talking and disappeared for 5 days.
I did.
That's a mood. I get it, but that is funny.
I did. It was, yeah, that was the big last blowout of stuff about my dad and my childhood and that kind of thing. There was just a one last big emotional explosion that lasted for about 5 days. And then that was just all done with.
Did you? This might be too much, but did you take it out on her, or did she just witness it?
No, I disappeared entirely.
Okay. Oh,
We
so
we
you didn't even see it happen. You were just gone.
no, we'd only just started talking to each other online at that point.
Gotcha.
So I just sort of just suddenly disappeared for wasn't it 3 days? I don't know. This is weird because I can't see her answers. This is like a weird fucked up game show.
I love it. I love it. She said he had a BPD episode right when we started talking and disappeared for 5 days. Also, Cassandra's back. Welcome, Cassandra. And she said, she said, nope, it was 5.
Okay.
Jill said, I have PTSD, so I just closed and it was no shade at Rich, like mini ghosting. No shade at Rich, like mini ghosting. Yeah, that was the word that came to mind for me.
Yeah.
Shit. I had a really good question. What was it? Kat, by the way, I really like Kat, by the way. This is so much fun for me. Because you're right, it's like a shitty game show for you.
It is. It's like, we asked your girlfriend this. What did she say about you? I don't know.
Kat, did you have any... Dr. Ruth has a good question too. But Kat, when he told you about his diagnoses, did you have a moment of being like, oh, fuck, maybe this isn't a good idea and stuff like... Oh, actually, maybe Rich doesn't want to know that.
But, no, go for it. It's all fine. It's all fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm curious because like people don't react well to saying you're a narcissist usually. But I'm curious if she had that kind of moment where she was like, ooh, that seems not amazing. But Ruth said, how do you explain personality disorder diagnosis given stigmatizing information everywhere? Like, let's say you got a friend and you need to describe your diagnosis. How do you do that?
How do I do it? I don't know. But I think I've generally said something like, you know how I am? There's a name for it.
That's fucking hilarious. I love that.
Especially the people who've known me for like 20 years. It's like, all the stuff that you could list about me. It's because of this thing. And they all go, oh, right, yeah, okay, no, that makes sense.
For people I've known, it's way easier because I can just have you like, hey, I'm fucking crazy. So this is what's up. With new people, usually when I start a conversation about that, I'm usually like, so I have a disorder that affects my self-esteem and it's personality disorder and it makes me very emotional, et cetera, et cetera. Like I put it in terms that nobody's going to connect it to NPD. So that then
Yeah.
when they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense, or like, oh, that's terrible, I'm gonna be like, yeah, by the way, that means I'm a narcissist.
I honestly, I think when I've said that to people, people don't really know what to do with it. I think they're like, you get a what? Really? You like people on no, not like people on Instagram. Like
Yeah.
different, just it's fine. Don't worry about it. Um, yeah, people seem rather incredulous. Like, oh, you're a narcissist. I don't know what to do with, and you're telling me. Like, I don't know what to do with that.
They're like, wait, that's possible for a narcissist to know they're a narcissist?
Yeah,
Like, and that's that was a big one too. Well, actually, I had a big issue where it's like, a lot, like I lost some friends because they started viewing everything I did through the lens of narcissism.
right, right. No, I didn't have that problem. Um, I think by the time I found out, given that it was only a couple of years ago, um, I don't know. I've been in a process of sort of rebuilding friendships anyway. There was no one immediately that close to me to get that upset with me. And I
Yeah,
think to anyone else, it kind of, like I say, it served more of an explanation than anything else.
yeah,
Um, and for some people, it usually came with an apology. It's kind of like, so, that list
yeah,
of things that I did, I'm sorry, and this is why, and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I generally got more. I can't think of any bad reactions to it that I've had other than online.
See, I'm not. Oh well, first of all, Kat did reply. I do want to touch on that very quickly after I say this, but I did have an interesting reaction with a couple of my exes. Well, no, one of my exes and a couple of friends. With one of my exes, I reached out basically and wanted to know what was up with her. She did not read. She literally said to me, "You're," because I was basically like, I had an impulse, I acted on it. I want to know how you're doing, and she was like, "That's a lie. You wouldn't reach out to me unless you thought you had something to gain." I was like, "Whoa, this girl has a way worse opinion than I
Yeah,
thought." Um, but then she went on to say, because like I literally told her, I was like, "Listen, I was diagnosed with NPD with borderline traits. I didn't realize how many issues I had, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sorry." She didn't even acknowledge the fact that I said that I had those things.
mm,
Which I thought was really interesting, is that like a lot of people don't even, not, I wouldn't say a lot of people, there's a good portion of people when they're not aware of what those disorders really are, that they just, it's not even a factor for them.
yeah. I think the people that I've had to sort of explain what they are, they
Yeah.
just sort of shrug. No one's been that bothered by it, to be perfectly honest.
Which is funny because like we learn it and we're like, oh, that explains my entire life, and then they're like, okay.
Yeah, thought you were just weird. I'm like, well, I am,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. My friend, I have one friend who always says, Jacob might be a lot, but at least he's funny. Which I'm like, yeah, well, fair enough.
I would take
But
that. I would take that. I'd be happy with that.
Kat said, I was really worried about the BPD. My mental health issues can clash with BPD, which I find fascinating. I cannot imagine somebody who'd be more worried about BPD. Well, I guess me, but like more worried about BPD than NPD.
Well, I think she had some experience with that in the past, and
Mm.
and knew for a fact that there were things that could conflict. And the MPD was, I think, sort of somewhat uncharted territory. And
True.
so,
Like
I
if
don't
you're
know.
not familiar with like the stigma and stuff, like people being like, "Oh my god, all narcissists are abusers." Sorry, I'm getting food by the way. Um, like if you're not familiar with like what the internet says, you probably aren't going to have that strong a reaction because you don't know like you probably don't know even what it is necessarily.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I don't know. And of course, I had just had a sort of BPD episode where I disappeared for 5 days. So, there's
So
there's
yeah, I can see how that's
there's kind
more.
of reason for somebody to be cautious there. I totally get it. I totally get it. Um, and thinking about it, as I talk to other people, uh, from a dating perspective, you would get the whole, I did have people that I'd say I have BPD to, and they're just like, sorry, no, bye.
Really?
Like immediately. Yeah. All kinds of stuff.
Like people you just met, or like friends that you had for a while?
No, people I just met, like people, like when you'd like talking to people on dating apps and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah. There were, yeah, definitely people who were just like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that. Goodbye. Whatever. And to a certain extent, you get it, but God, it's hard not to take that a tiny bit personally. It's hard not to feel too bad, but whatever.
For me, it's like that's why I wait a while. I'm like, I want them to know who I am before I disclose that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, somebody said, "Where in America are you?" I can't distinguish the accent. I want them to guess.
Okay.
Because I literally, I don't know if you've ever done this, but for people I admire, I'll take on some of their cadences and stuff like that. So I'm curious if I'm still recognizable as where I am.
Now I know
Um,
where you are. Were you born where you are? Or you're from there? Okay.
um, I don't know how familiar you are with fucking American accents, but mine is more. It would be more associated with New England than where I'm actually at.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to have a friend also from where you're from, and
Mm.
his accent, thinking about it, was quite different from yours.
Where in England are you from?
I'm from a town called Doncaster, which is
Okay.
in South. The closest big city would be Sheffield, that you might have heard of, and it's sort of,
Yeah.
I'd say, in the north of England, so roughly sort of halfway up the map.
The north of England?
Yeah. So the north of England isn't the north of the UK.
Because I was like I'm kind of surprised because your accent doesn't scream because I know that the north of England is like the south of the United States where it's viewed as more rural and uneducated, et cetera, et cetera. And your accent didn't betray that to me.
We I mean, it's not. No, it is more rural, but no, it's not like it's not like the South. Um, we
I thought it
tend
was
we
associated with low class.
it's more associated with working class, yeah. Um, and we have a massive range of accents, particularly in Yorkshire, which I don't have in any particularly thick way. You can tell that I'm northern because I say words like bath and path and grass
Mm.
with the ah sound, and people
Like
from the south,
American.
yeah, and so people from the south would be grass, bath, path, master, all that kind of thing. So that gives you your north-south divide straight away. But yeah, I'm from yeah, Yorkshire, very much so. It's just
Yorkshire.
not
Okay.
that clear.
So I know where Yorkshire is. So you're not as north as I thought you were, but still, yeah, pretty north. Like, sorry, I was like, wait, is it? Cassandra said, "Hey Jacob, have you ever lived in the U.S.?" Yes, I live there now.
Yeah.
I didn't think my accent was that distinguishable from where I actually live, but I'm not Cassandra. By the way, I'm not trying to come at you or anything. I just thought that was funny. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, it even said I'm from Wales in the UK, so I can't guess your accent. Okay, fair enough. Cat said,
So
"Are
yeah,
you on the West Coast?" On the West Coast, Cat, Rich, rein in your girlfriend. I'm joking. I'm like, West Coast. Oh, I'm offended. Um, Dr. Ruth said that she thought you sounded Londony, which I agree with. She's from Northern Ireland, though.
right. No, I'm very not Londony. Very not Londony.
Somebody
Uh,
said Seattle. No. Um,
you
yeah,
know,
she said that you don't have a strong Yorkshire accent at all, which I agree with.
My voiceover artist profile says soft, warm Yorkshire tones.
Oh wait,
That's where it is.
Cassandra said. I thought you said the UK. Does it sound like I have a UK accent, Cassandra? Jacob, no one reigns me in ever. Good. You need to stand up to Rich with his issues, right? Oh, that's fucking funny. Like, I don't know, Rich. We have issues because whenever we're like on a live or whatever, we always deviate from actually talking about personality. So we
This
talk
is the
about
thing. It's good to take a break from time. Even group therapy uh, goes away from mental health issues from time to time. It's all part of the process.
And honestly, it kind of reassures me because I feel like I obsess over personality disorders all the time. And the fact that somebody else with personality disorder, I just start talking about random ass shit with, makes me be like, okay, I have other interests.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good to do. It's good
Also,
to do.
people, I need. I'm going to tell where I'm at pretty soon. So if you have any last guesses, I want to hear them. This is so fucking funny. Um, I love doing this too because I'm a narcissist and need people to tell me who I am.
Right.
I'm like literally watching my chat religiously, being like, give me one more guess. I need to hear where it sounds like I'm from.
It's not till I find myself looking at a map that I'm reminded of how much the north of England is not in the north of England.
I mean, I would say like it's north, not super north though.
It's really not. The way we work is you get Yorkshire and Lancashire and all of that, and that's the north, but it's not really. It's near the top, but it's not the north. And we know that Scotland is up there somewhere. And so that stops being the north of England and becomes Scotland. So in our heads, there's this sort of weird Geordie area of Newcastle and Sunderland and Durham that it's England and even far more north than me, but it's not Scotland, and it doesn't feel like England. It's those people up there doing that thing. I don't know.
It's so fucking funny. See, I felt very self-conscious earlier because you said where you're from, and I was like, most European people I talk to, they think I'm like the smartest American they ever met because I know literally the bare minimum about Europe, and like I don't know where that is. Now he's going to think I'm an idiot American now.
No, there's a lot of it to know, and we have a lot of small Yorkshire towns that have weird names and that sort of thing.
Okay, Evan said, I'm going to just throw some random guesses out there via Google. Massachusetts, Colorado, Michigan. Okay, that's hilarious. But no, I'm from Ohio. If I had a map on me, I'd point. Oh, wait, fuck, I have a map of America right here. 1 second. I'm here. Where a little dot is where I'm from and grew up my entire life. But. Oh, wait, fucking Cassandra did that. Wait, Kat, you know where Ohio is? Is that a normal thing? Do you know where Ohio is, Rich?
I know where Ohio is.
Because of me, or just in general?
No, I knew before. Like I said, I had friends from Ohio and all that kind of thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah, I meant I had a live where I was a little drunk, and so a whole thing in Ohio is you say OH, and then some other people say IO. And I started with the IO and was wondering why people weren't doing the thing. Oh wait, Kat's American?
Yeah.
Nobody told me that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you knew.
I had no idea.
She's from Buffalo.
Yeah. Oh shit, I didn't know that. Yeah, I know where Buffalo is. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
A fellow American. Let's go. Oh, it's funny. Okay. I need to ask Kat a question about you now. Let's see. Well, no. Like, I was about to ask, like, if the cultural differences between America and England have been an issue at all, because that made me curious. Then I was like, wait, we should probably get back on the conversation of personality disorders, given what this live is about. Um,
Well, she is awfully loud, but apart from that, there's not really any big.
am I loud?
You're all loud.
Fair enough. I know that American, like, that's a stereotype of Americans, but
I like it. It's good. It's full of energy and life. It's
true.
good.
True, we're exciting at the very least.
That's it, indeed.
Okay, I gotta think of a question. If anybody else has questions for Rich's girlfriend, please share them. We're on the horrible game show for Rich, which I love. This is my favorite thing. And I only have a half hour left, so but yes. I'm trying to think of a good one with man, I just keep thinking mean questions. Kat, what is the symptom that bothers you the most?
Oh, I'm fairly symptomless at the moment with. What's she gonna say for that? I can't imagine.
With my girlfriend, it's definitely, well, I guess this isn't like a direct symptom, like in the DSM, but just the lying. Because I don't lie to her really, but she'll watch me lie to other people, and she'll be like, "That was uncomfortable for me," and I'm like, "It's just a lie." It's nothing bad, but like, it's not a big. Like, I literally think it's not a big of a deal. But she's always like, "Oh, that was weird to see. Like, I'm glad you don't lie to me, but like, it really makes me question things." I'm like, "Well, I don't know what you want."
I've felt that frustration before. Let me manipulate people. Stop telling me to stop it. Like,
this is who I am.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Because it's like, again, we talked about this last time, but it's just like manipulation and lying doesn't have to be bad. And so, like, when I'm doing it, I'm like, it on its own doesn't feel like a problem.
It's not like I'm manipulating someone to take drugs or rob a bank or something, you know?
I would be open to doing the second thing. But yeah, like, honestly.
I mean, that's totally doable. Darren Brown proved that, didn't he? But, yeah, you should watch that. Darren Brown's, is it the bank heist thing? I bet you can find that on the internet.
Let me look it up. Kat gave a answer, by the way, but I'm just
go for that one.
Wait, Darren Brown.
Darren Brown, the heist. He took some normal people and psychologically conditioned them to commit an armed robbery.
Oh man, why am I admiring him right now?
And he did it as part of a Channel 4 TV show. But you will fucking love that. That will be on the internet somewhere.
Like, if I take on his personality, that's your fault, by the way.
Oh, look, with the you should watch some Darren Brown stuff if you like manipulation. This is the guy. This guy has all the special powers you wish you had.
If you like manipulation, yeah, fucking, do you know who I am?
Yeah. No, you'll like this. You'll like it. Honestly, you'll like Darren Brown. He's fantastic.
So this is interesting. She says for BPD, it's a splitting, which makes sense. But she also says with MPD, nothing bothers me because it doesn't come up in our relationship, which also makes sense because you're because like since BPD is so relationship focused, that your MPD wouldn't come up. That's interesting to me.
That's it. It never did. And you know, like I said on the video I did last week, the thing where you become narcissistic about other people rather than just I became narcissistic about the relationship.
Yes.
So it was never a big thing. I wasn't like the classic YouTube narcissist in a relationship that you see, that kind of thing.
And, oh my God, they're envious and controlling. I've never done that.
Yeah, God no. I can't be asked to control somebody else to that degree. I can't. I don't have that brain power and energy, to be honest.
Like, it doesn't feel worth it almost.
I know, right?
But that's a good question is like, because like with friends, it's always like, oh my god, like you are my friend, therefore we are above everybody else, not just me.
Yeah,
I'm not like sure I'm above you, obviously, but but like it's like we are like awesome and shit like that, not just me being above everybody. And
that's it.
I'm curious for Kat if that bothers her because I once had a girlfriend who got really not really upset, but she got like kind of off put because I was like, imagine how many people want to be us right now, because I think that is like the best compliment. Because it's like it's the envy and grandiosity, but like it bothered her and that kind of confused me. So I'm curious
Mm.
if with Kat that would bother her.
Well, again, it doesn't really play out anywhere,
Yeah.
and I'm not doing that so much with this relationship, and so it doesn't really.
You did start this one when you were more healed, so it makes sense.
I can think of particular. Yeah, no, it's not. There's not really been a chance for it to come out much.
She said, "Nope, I find it funny." Okay, good. But I keep
Yeah,
him in check. Keep him in check. Okay, that's actually another good thing. Like, have had friends, especially in the past, who would feel a need to like cut down my grandiosity, even when I was like, because like how I cope with it usually is I make jokes like, "Yep, I'm the smartest guy in the world, obviously," and because you need an outlet. And then they
yeah,
laugh, and then like you get to say you're better than everybody, but also people think it's funny, so they affirm you that way. Awesome. But then when people would like put me in my place, so to speak, I would it would be so frustrating because one, that was a coping mechanism, and two, it's like that would bother me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I'm curious, does Kat do it in ways that is? She said that she's gentle about it.
Oh,
Um,
amazing! And that's all that's needed now because I don't get caught up in things, and I know what that I'm prone to things. So
yeah,
when she just says quietly, "Your narcissism is showing," I can just oh yeah, you're right, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. There's no need for an argument or to feel. Now, had that happened 5 years ago or something like that, then it may have been a different story. But
Yeah.
today, it's yeah, that's it. And I'll usually know when I'm going off on one.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that for the most.
You know,
That good question. Okay, so this is another question for you, um, Kat. I wish I could ask you more questions, but I get caught up in conversation too easily. But the what is it? I feel Kat needs to go live with us. I swear to God. Um, I would get my girlfriend too, but she's self conscious. I what fuck? What did you just say?
about no, we are not the best people to be forgetting what we've just to be trying to
We do
remember what
this.
we said. About my narcissism is showing, so I don't need to get upset.
Okay, okay, I got it. So basically, so Spirit and Arc Tess, me and her were like really good friends, and like I'm curious if you do this to me, where like I'll be talking to her and I'll be like, oh fuck, her narcissism is going off right now, and she has no idea. And I'm curious if you have that thought about me sometimes.
No, um, not really, not really, not that I can think of. There was a live that I saw that you did. I can't remember who it was with.
I
Uh,
think it was with Ruth. I know exactly because I know exactly what you're talking about. Like it was when I went on this like tangent of being like, listen, I'm the best of everyone in this community. Everyone's riding my coattails, and I was and like Tess. I literally had to have a phone call with Tess about that because I was like, listen, I know now that that was mainly a joke. Yes, I believe it because I'm a narcissist, but like that was not true. I am sorry.
with that one, it was kind of just the whole thing. It wasn't just you either. It was more like I don't know. I'm just watching people behave exactly the way I would expect people with those disorders interacting with each other to behave.
So maybe it was with Tess then. Because when when because me and her did a live where this was a while ago. Because you're not talking. Oh wait, are you talking about my Christmas? No, because you were tied up in that. So no.
Yeah, no, before
Um,
Christmas.
yeah, so that was me and Tess. Because
Yeah,
it was a woman, right?
yeah,
A girl
yeah.
about my age. Yeah, because me and her go off together. Yeah, because me and her did that live. I remember. Oh my god, Raw Motivation showed up, and like I was like, oh, thank you for supporting us. But like me and her have some issue. Like, I respect him as a person, but we have some issues with the content. And Tess like started throwing shade like subtly, and I was like, oh, Tess, like you gotta chill, you gotta chill, girl. Oh my god, but yeah, oh fuck. No, I agree though. Like when me and Tess are together, we like our self awareness gets thrown out the fucking window.
Yeah. But that's all. And it was nothing, there was nothing bad of any kind or anything like that. I don't know. I'm
We're
now
just.
wondering if I do it. I'm now sat like, what have I done that? And I
I've
don't
never
think
seen.
I don't think I've ever done anything that I'm not aware that I did
Yeah,
on video.
because because like usually because like I watch your videos pretty right. Well, I mean you don't post super often, so I catch probably more of your videos than you would of mine. I and like usually you're like really self. Usually it's like yeah, I'm being grandiose right now, but like I don't really care. It's kind of the attitude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which I understand. I'm trying to think if there's any that I really saw you like go off on something that just felt unaware.
No, yeah. It's a shame
I
I
don't
don't
have
have
any
any.
examples, but I feel it's more with your BPD, honestly, when you're not being self-aware.
Yeah. I guess if someone really wanted to find recordings of me going off on one, then probably my old podcast stuff would be your best bet. But even then,
Yeah.
oh no, probably the Bollocks show. What am I talking about? Yeah, I had a whole show where I would shout about stuff every week. That was the whole point. Yeah, there's got to be some stuff in there.
Oh, Cassandra put up a really good question. How do you do with authority figures?
Badly.
Sam?
Really, really, really fucking badly. Um, I I would probably be better now. It doesn't come up that often, but yeah, there are some historical incidents, I think, and it's just being told what to do by someone you perceive to be a fucking moron and for no good reason and that kind of thing.
Imagine being in the army.
Oh no, yeah,
Yeah.
I would not do well in the army. I know that for sure.
Well, because do you freeze up around authority figures at all?
No,
Really? I'm
I I I rebel immediately. And
because
I'm not a military expert, but I'm given to believe that rebellion is very much frowned upon.
that's probably in the codes of conduct somewhere,
Yeah,
but I'm not
you've got
sure.
to do what you're told. They're keen on that, and I'm not. So I rebel against like, fucking everything, and it's instant, right? And so authority figures, absolutely, but the other day I'm stood in the kitchen doing the dishes, and my eye caught this carton of oat milk on the side. And on the side of the carton of oat milk, they printed, "This is one of the most environmentally friendly cartons." And my brain went, "Leave the fucking fridge door open and tell those people to fuck off with their environmentally friendly oat milk." You're like, what the, what? Why, where did that come from?
I feel that, but like, so there's two levels of to
What?
there's people who I view as beneath me as telling me what to do, and then there's people who are clearly in a hierarchy that they are above me. Those guys, I'm always like, I freeze up. I'm like, I need them to like me,
Right.
and if they're mean to me, I'll definitely be like, I'll definitely what's the word? I will like I'll get super moody, and then like I'll scheme.
Yeah.
never follow through with it. But if it's somebody beneath me, like that example right there, super relatable. It's like piss off. And this is a bad example. I'm not going to use that example because that's like one that could get really tricky. But it's like, okay, here's one that's a little bit less bad. It's like, oh, this is a product from a woman-owned business, and like that's cool. But I'm also like, wait, you think I should buy this just because of that? And it's just about them telling me to and implying that that is the morally right thing to do. That I'm like, piss off. No, I'm
I
not gonna
have,
buy that.
yeah, I have rants about that sort of thing. I absolutely have rants about that sort of thing. And it is just purely through being told to do something. And it could be, like I say, anything. And it's not something, it doesn't have to be something I gave a crap about beforehand.
I don't know that.
Alexa, stop.
It's like it's like all of a sudden like it's a fucking issue that you have with the world just because somebody told you to do it.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing that makes you put your foot down when you drive past a sign that says, please drive carefully. Like, I will not.
Like literally, I was driving and I saw this sign. I was like, "This many deaths happen because of drunk driving." I was like, "That's not that many."
My one with that, I start arguing. I start working out like that's a lie. Can't possibly be that many. So if there were that many a year, then that means there need to be this many a week. And well, if there were that many people dying a week, that'd be the main news story. What are you talking about? Like, I don't believe road signs.
I remember the one that I saw. It was like there was 230 deaths of alcohol, like drunk driving this year, and I was like, on this road or nationally? Because if it's nationally, we're doing fucking good. Like,
Yeah.
Kat also said something very interesting that prompted a question for me. She said, Rich doesn't comment too much on my outfits, etc., though he has a minimum standards like no PJs outside. Relatable. But again, I have very good boundaries and won't let people treat me poorly. So I mentioned this a couple times. I always want my girlfriends to dress provocatively because I love guys guys gawking at my girlfriend because I'm like, she's going home with me, asshole. So I'm like, fucking whatever. Do you ever? Oh, fucking.
Look, my only issue with no pajamas outside is just it's trashy when people go outside in their pajamas. It's not like a narcissistic control rule for life or something.
It's not control. It's that makes me look like it's embarrassing to be seen with. Okay,
It's like I don't want to be the people in Asda in pajamas. I can't do that. Life hasn't fallen down that low for me yet.
Also, fun size people McNugget. Nice to see you. It has been a while. Jesus Christ, dude. Well, not dude, girl. But anyways, but yeah, it's like my mom would bring me out in public with her, like to go grocery shopping in the morning, and she'd be in her pajamas. I'd be like, this is humiliating.
That's it. That's it. I can't do it. So that's it. That's all. Other than that, it all falls into that category of I don't want that level of control. Like
Well, that's the thing. Like when I talk about like I want my girlfriend to dress provocatively for like I want people to envy me. It's not like I want to control them. It's just like I want other people to envy me.
yeah, it's a very different thing.
It's oh shit. It's funny too. Sorry, I'm lock picking right now just because I like to fiddle with shit. Um, yeah, I know I'm weird, but like, what was I saying? That's ADHD for me, but yeah, it's like, and that's funny about the symptom criteria too. Is that I feel like that's where the vulnerable versus grandiose shit comes in. Is that
Right.
like when you're in a vulnerable state, it's like I'm fucking envious of other people. Then when you're grandiose, you're like people are envious of me, and you always kind of want people to be envious of you because that's fucking self-esteem juice out the ass right there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely it is. I like people being envious of me.
It's nice, like not nice, but like it's so validating. It's like I am because like there's an inherent admiration and it's hierarchical. There's like this admiration and like I am above you. because you're
Yeah,
envying me.
yeah. It's I've got something
Ooh.
you wish you had. I've done something you wish you could do. So aren't I good?
Do
And
you what was I about to say? Do you struggle with compliments unless they're like comparative or you hear it secondhand?
hmm,
Like, let's say
yeah,
somebody looked you in the eyes and told you you're a really good person. How would you react?
there's, yeah, there's, I don't know how to react because the instinct is, yeah, I am. Like, of course, you were today years old when you found that out. Of course, I'm fucking awesome, and you can't do
Yeah.
that. And so I have trouble like taking it in terms of I haven't learned what I think the normal human interaction is for that yet.
Well, because like that's actually interesting. Because for me, if somebody looks me in the eyes and tells me I'm a good person, my knee jerk reaction is, "Oh, you don't know me then. Oh, you fell for my facade, more or less."
Right.
Because I feel inherently bad, like deep down. Um, and then if they say I'm really attractive, I'll be like, ah, yeah, fuck, yeah, I am. Somebody compare, like, if I walked into a room and somebody was like, oh, you're like one of the best looking people in this room, I would glow up. Like, I'd be like, fuck, yeah, thank you. Oh, I love that. Anything that's a comparison. Oh,
Oh,
I
I've
just,
I've I've made that claim about myself on a number of occasions.
I mean,
That's where mine
awesome.
goes to. I used to be the guy that would look around and go, you know what? I am the best looking guy in here, and like, gosh, stuff that makes you cringe. You know?
It, well, because you walk into a room and you're constantly ranking people.
Yeah, that's what it was about, and looking at it in terms of like being attractive to women. Like, I must be the best looking guy in here. That must mean I can do well with women in here and that kind of thing, and
It's a big one, too. Yeah.
so on and so on. And that bringing with it the status that I felt it brought with it. It's weird. It's a weird one. I put a I think I put too much emphasis on that sort of thing in life.
Because the one that I am almost completely delusional about, and I recognize that, is my intelligence. I think I've met like one or two people in my life who I've been like, okay, they're probably more intelligent than me. Everyone else, I'm like, no, you're fucking not. Like my attractiveness, I'm way more blatantly insecure about. Um, but like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think I'm above people in regards to that too. But I'm also just kind of like, if I'm less attractive, oh well, I'm smarter than they are.
Yeah, yeah, no, I have a similar thing. In many ways, I think I'm one of the cleverest people there are,
Yeah,
which cannot be true. There is nothing in the world or my life that backs that up at all.
right. I made a whole
But
video about that. Like,
I
yeah,
don't
maybe
know.
I'm smart, but it's like what, like, does it matter if I have nothing to show for it?
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Like, how smart can I be, really?
Yeah.
Um, because as you know, I have nothing to show for it, but at the same time, I don't know. There are some things I could point to, and I do feel like it's hard for me to sit here and not say out loud that I think I'm above average intelligence. Like I don't need to say that. But I have to, it's coming out of me. I can't sit here and comfortably accept that I have limitations.
Uh, in fairness, I do think that you are more intelligent than the average person. Um, and also, I mean, like, because you do, fuck. And don't take this as purely flattery. It's mainly the fact that I admired you for so. I still admire you. But that like you're fucking. I mean, hell, even your like. I know that you're never happy with your YouTube channel because I never am either. But it's
Yeah,
like you're doing better than 90% of people who would try to do something like that. I have a
that
buddy
is
who's been doing this shit for like 6 years and has like 200 subscribers.
right. I try, that is something that I try to latch onto. Like,
Yeah.
you're doing better than most people are, you know, but
Hierarchical thinking.
because because I'm not doing as well as I wish I was doing, then it might as well be 200 followers,
Yeah. I mean,
in terms of my attitude.
it's never good enough.
No. And it's just, it's born out of that frustration from not feeling good enough, from that desperation because in my head, there's this mythical level of when I get to this many subscribers, I'll make X amount of money or whatever. And then I can get that calmness that we talked about earlier,
Yes.
And I couldn't even put a number. What is that number of subscribers? I don't know.
Exactly.
It's all a made up thing, and it just leaves me chasing after this thing that doesn't exist forever.
It's a never ending goalpost. I always talk about Lyndon B. Johnson. He was probably a pathological narcissist. He showed the vulnerable and grandiose traits, and he was the fucking president. And if they left him alone in the White House, he would cry because of how insecure he would get, and ask for constant affirmation. And it just goes to show that we're never going to be able to reach that because we're trying to look externally for problems internally.
Yeah.
Also, pleasant fucking note to leave that on, I guess, but I have to go on a podcast here, literally in 4 minutes. So I will have to go.
Okay.
But, Rich, this was fucking fun. Literally,
awesome
anytime you want live on TikTok, just hit me up. Even if it's super impulsive, you can hit me
up. Okay. I will do. And thank you for everyone who watched my side of it as well.
And if you want to stay on, everybody who's on my stream, go to Rich, and if he wants to keep streaming, he can.
No, I'm gonna go now. I've got a dog that needs its tummy rubbing.
Also, Kat, I'm sorry I didn't ask you more questions. Rich, give me a day's notice before we go live next time, and I'm going to write down a bunch of questions for Kat.
Okay. I'll let you know.
All right, awesome. I'll catch you, dude.
Okay. Catch you later. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, everybody, too.